Somehow, I question your motives.
That is because you haven't been properly stimulated yet.
You have reactivated my emotion chip. Why?
Don't be frightened.
What the Silverbacks and the hard money people are talking about is very different from what Geoff Christian is talking about. It's not the same market. We are not talking about silver. We are talking about money. Hey guys, Rob here from the End Game Investor, and today I want to discuss Geoff Christian. A lot of the people in the silver community are angry with this person because he doesn't seem to agree with us on a silver moonshot. I want to just work out this argument very simply and just say that the Silverbacks, or the hard money enthusiasts, the hard money guys, and Geoff Christian, we are not talking about the same markets. When we talk about silver, we are not really talking about the silver market. Geoff Christian is an expert, and a good expert, in the silver industry as it is today. What is the silver industry today? Total demand, about 1 billion tons. And it breaks down into jewelry, coins and bars, silverware, electrical and electronic demand, industrial brazing alloys and solders, industrial photography, industrial photovoltaic, industrial ethylene oxide, whatever that is, and other industrial. So coins and bars it's about 10% of the silver industry. So when analyzing the silver industry, Geoff Christian is an expert. He understands the supply, he understands the industrial demand, he's going to calculate all of his calculations based on those numbers. What the Silverbacks and the hard money people are talking about is very different from what Geoff Christian is talking about. It's not the same market. We are not talking about silver, we are talking about money. And money just happens to be silver, because silver has always historically been money. The dollar was born out of silver and then became gold. Money was born out of silver, and in many languages, the word for money is silver, for example, in Hebrew. So when we say that silver is going to do a moonshot and go to $500 or $1,000 an ounce or whatever number we pick out of a hat, what we are saying is not that silver is going to go up, but that the monetary medium of the dollar is going to collapse. And when we say that, we are no longer talking about silver, we are talking about money, the dollar, and the monetary system. When that is said to Geoff Christian, he doesn't really understand what is being said, because in his mind, the dollar cannot collapse. The Fed is in charge of the monetary system, and there is no such thing as hyperinflation. It is all a fantasy of these crazy silver bugs who don't understand what they're talking about, because all the elites have it under control. But the fact is, they do not. The demand for silver for photovoltaics or for industrial purposes is only so much. But the demand for money is universal. And on the day that the dollar collapses, there will be no other monetary medium besides gold and silver. Gold for the banks and for big capital purchases, and silver for the public. There will be no other good monetary medium. There will be other barter options, of course. If people don't have silver, they will use other things, but the most efficient metal will be silver. And the point of silver is to divide gold on a retail level. And when paper or digital substitutes are honest and trusted and not inflated, the digital or paper substitute for gold can do a much better job than physical silver can, because you don't have to carry around the physical silver, and it's much more convenient. But when trust collapses and the paper money is not worth anything, there is no other choice but to go back to the original money directly. And so what we are talking about, we're not talking about a change in industrial demand for silver. We are talking about a day when nobody will have any other choice but to get their hands on some real money in order to reintegrate into the division of labor or starve to death. And so the demand for silver as a money will go from almost zero now to everyone on the planet very quickly, in a matter of days, weeks, or at most months. Because who needs silver for industrial purposes? Isolated actors in industry. But who needs silver for monetary purposes? Right now, very few people, because you can still go into a store or go into a bank or go into wherever you want and offer fiat cash to people and they will give you things. But one day will come, and it is coming fast, where that will not work anymore. And there will be no way to restart a monetary system on anything other than the base of the pyramid itself, which is silver, which is still where all fiat currencies continue to draw their value from the past, when before silver was demonetized in 1873. That is the value of all paper money, the dollar at bottom. When that collapses, there will be no choice but to return to the physical metal for a certain amount of time until a new money substitute regime is established on a less inflated base. But until we get there, you are going to need some physical silver, not as an industrial need, but as a monetary need. It is going to happen, and that is what Geoff Christian cannot wrap his head around. And that's okay, because that is not his market. He is an expert in industry. We are experts in monetary realities. And the monetary reality of the collapse of the dollar is coming. And on that day, silver will be the only viable money for the public once again. This is Rafi of the Endgame Investor. If you like this monetary philosophizing, check out a 2-week free trial of the Endgame Investor and you'll get a lot more of it, or become my patron on Patreon, where you'll get a weekly video on biblical commentary on economic and monetary policy topics. And for now, have a good day, and remember, silver is money. It's just that most people haven't realized it yet.
That is because you haven't been properly stimulated yet.